Well, folks, I've made a blunder. I've made a big blunder. Welcome to welcome to 3 Wide TV here tonight, folks. I might just have to edit all that out. Welcome to the GTR Simulator Superspeedway series. I'll bring up the logo here again. Big shout out to GTR Simulator. Make sure you check them out. Link in the description if you need a sim rig. They are the people to check out here tonight on 3 Wide TV. We got the GoDadRacer 170 here at the iRacing Superspeedway. No restrictor plates here tonight, and definitely going to be a fun one. Colin Ullery atop the leaderboard in the practice session. Just about 2.5 minutes left. A little bit longer of a practice session than what we're typically used to here in this particular series. Just leaving qualifying a little bit late here tonight, but we want to welcome you to the channel. Do apologize for that. I'm Peter Short, and joining me in the booth here tonight is Ben Adams. And Ben, going to be a fun one tonight.
Absolutely. If you've never seen this track before, it's a creation that they made pretty much wide open, no restrictor plates, long straightaways, multiple lanes. It's pretty much everything you would want if you just want to go fast.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. We were just kind of talking with our mics muted about how tomorrow night here in the National Sim Racing Association, we got Dover. And we mentioned that this racetrack is basically Dover times 3, much larger. Still a lot of banking, and still has those dips, kind of that roller coaster feel. Let's see if we can go on board here with John Doble in his number 3 machine as he goes underneath the number 97 machine right there, Mike Floppy Tallier. Doble here with a little bit of a draft. He's actually, I think, here practicing what he might need to do to win the race. Just trying to get to the inside of Colin Ullery. And, man, I think Ullery did actually pip him to the line that time. But 217 miles an hour for his Ford F-150. And you got to keep in mind that Colin Ullery up in front of him. Let's see what Colin Ullery's turning right now. 219 miles an hour right here through the middle of the corner with a number 55 machine. Steven Doziak tucked up right underneath him. Doziak has been known to be a good pusher in his total nonstop racing machine, so keep an eye out for him. 222 miles an hour down the backstretch right here, and we're going to see speeds upwards of that when everyone is all together out there on the racetrack here in just a little bit. But of course, we're going to go to the qualifying session here in just a little bit. Find out which of these drivers is going to pick up the BAM Auto Pole Award. As man, Colin Ullery there in a little bit of a seesaw, trying to figure out how to keep cars behind him. I think there, Ben, probably practicing a little bit for the end of the race.
Yeah, he got a pretty good little bump drive too. You know, one of the things to keep in mind, and I'm sure you'll see it before the night's out, as they go 4 wide. Look at that. Talk about a good screenshot for Sim Shots Racing. But yeah, if you go in too early and you clip below that yellow line, it'll shoot your truck straight up the track. If you go in too late, you don't get a good tight run around the corner. So it's a lot more tricky than it looks.
Yeah, these trucks do have a tendency to push down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Let's see if we can figure out who's going to pick up that BAM Auto Pole Award as the racetrack does fall quiet, at least briefly. Just waiting to see those drivers get out there onto the racetrack. Some drivers already coming up to speed. There's Kyle Lewis, the number 18 machine. We were on board with him a little while ago. Can he pick up the BAM Auto Pole Award here tonight as he works his way up onto the high banks coming out of turn number 2 here in just a little bit? Colin Ullery, the 62 machine right there. Last season's champion here in the Superspeedway series, brought to you by GTR Simulators. He's just now trying to work his way back up onto the racetrack. But your points leader is the number 26 machine, JT Poole. There he is, very, very quick in the practice session just a little bit ago in his Irwin Tools number 26 F-150. Maybe he can pick up the BAM Auto Pole Award. We'll see if we can bring up that ticker for all of you folks here once they start to get some times in up at the top of the screen. No driver yet to take any lap time here, but definitely going to be a fun race, and we have seen some really, really stellar finishes here on 3 Wide TV, Ben, in the first couple of races here in the season.
And last week we saw how many big ones? 5, I believe? It was a crazy night last week, so amp that up a little bit more because this track is it's a blast. It's going to be a good show.
Definitely, it is going to be a good one, folks. You're going to want to stay with us here on 3 Wide TV for the remainder of the night. There's the number 78, Doug Neal. He's trying to hustle his way to get out there onto the racetrack. Let's see if we can pick up a driver of the number 9 machine right here, James Zorello. He's not Canadian. Have that left up from just a little while ago. There we go, American James Zorello. Running up there against the wall, trying to get his speed up, almost getting into that outside wall coming out of turn number 4. Now he's going to bring it down to the bottom side of the racetrack and crank that sucker up. He is at 211 miles an hour going across the start-finish line in his number 9 machine, and definitely a driver to watch out for here tonight.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how long it is before his daughter takes over his ride in the National Sim Racing Association. She's been winning races in her division in real life.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. Having some issues with flagmen, I do hear, however. But let's go check out the one non-American in the field. That is not it. I was about to click Mike Floppy Tellier, and Mike Floppy Tellier is not actually out there. So I was gonna bring up the not American sign, but unfortunately he's not out there right now. Chip Hansen in the number 87, the South Carolina Gamecocks Chevy Silverado, is currently atop the board, but as I say that, gets pipped by James Zorello, the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast. Chevrolet goes to top of the board with a 50.661. Jeff Wyatt going to jump up to second. The Old Guy Racing Ford F-150. There it is. Second place on the board by just 1/100th of a second. Now Chip Hansen in the number 87 is going to jump to second on the board. 6/1000th of a second slower than James Zorello. Trying to see if we have any other drivers out there at, on a hot lap. We do hear Shane Ledoux. He's on one of those hot laps. He's going to be coming to the start-finish line to see what he can put in here in this qualifying session. Right now, coming to the stripe, what do we think he can do here? I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him go top of the board. We'll see what it's like at the line. Shane Ledoux going to jump up to only 13th fastest, so definitely not a pickup for him. Here's Garrett Gleason. And Garrett appears to be coming down pit road, so I don't think Gleason's going to get a lap time in. Stephen Ford in the number 14, he's going to try and hustle around, get a lap time in his threat level Midnight Chevrolet. But he might be another driver here. Might have just cut it just a little bit too short here in this qualifying session.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he's going to fall just short.
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds left. I don't think he's going to be able to make it back to the
Jeffrey
stripe.
Vickery just went number 1.
Yeah, Jeffrey Vickery is threatening Andrew Himmelman.
Oh, Andrew, there he goes. I thought he wasn't going to qualify.
Well, he put a lap time in. A new look on that number 8 Sim Shots Chevy Silverado this week. Really good looking right there. Ben, any story behind that paint scheme that Andrew just burned its way to the pole?
Now, they said he wanted something gaudy, and he got it.
Yeah, he got it. And he also picks up the Bamauto Pole Award here tonight. So big shout out to Andrew Himmelman for picking that up here. As you can see the ticker up there at the top of the screen showing his name first. But we are going to have to go through tonight's starting lineup. Let's see if we can bring up the starting grid for you here in the GoDadRacer 170, the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series here in the National Sim Racing Association. Andrew Himmelman, Jeffrey Vickery, 2 drivers who waited to the very last second to get their qualifying lap time in. James Zorello, Chip Hansen, 3rd and 4th. Jeff Wyatt, John Doble, 5th and 6th. Chris Darling, Colin Ullery, 7th and 8th. And rounding out your top 10 there, Ben, Kyle Lewis, and JT Poole. I'll just continue on. Evan Burke and Evan Gilbert, 11th and 12th. Ben Mashburn, William Kirwan, 13th and 14th. Shane Ledoux, Jason Freeman, 15th and 16th. Jason Gracias, 17th and 18th. Dalton Hayes, 19th. Mike Floppy Tellier, 20th. Doug Neal, Garrett Gleason, a couple drivers who did not take time back there, 21st and 22nd. Stephen Ford, Jason Shue rounding out row number 12. And starting shotgun on the field, the number 37 Digital Mafia machine of Zach Howell. And
sorry about that. I was trying to get my mic turned up. They said I was a little low, so sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. So we'll let this grid thing disappear for you folks, and we will bring up the ticker here tonight for not the first time. A big shout out here to GoDadRacer for sponsoring tonight's race. Definitely fun to have them on board as tonight's race sponsor here, and definitely going to be, fun to see what this race has entail. 57 laps here tonight, kind of an odd number. It is a 3-mile racetrack, the only 3-mile Superspeedway in all of iRacing. Of course, this is not a real-life NASCAR track. This track is not in existence. It was made for a simulator and for the drivers to go out there and have some fun on. And Andrew Himmelman is having the most fun right now, starting on the front row on the inside line. That is, of course, the Bamauto Pole Award for him here tonight. We have a couple of other awards to give away throughout tonight's race as well. We got the JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award. Big shout out to them. There is a link in the description to their Facebook page. We will have the JKR Motorsports Crank It up at some point. And then, of course, at the end of the night, if we have overtime, Beer Street Journal will be sponsoring The Last Call. And Max Grafix will always give away the Hard Charger of the Race Award. And, of course, big shout out to our friends over at Sim Shots also for sponsoring here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series, the GoDadRacer 170. About to go green, pace car coming out of turn number 4. It will make the hard left turn to come down pit road. The race is in the hands of the number 8 machine of Andrew Himmelman, coming down at just 90 miles an hour behind that pace car. Green flag is in the air. They're going to be 130 miles an hour faster next time they go by the start-finish line. And we are green, 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 and already contact. Big wreck in the back, and this is what you don't want to see. Cars flipping. Ben Mashburn just absolutely going up and over, and Ben already under caution.
Ooh. Yeah, man. Fast repair is gone right there.
Fast repair is indeed gone. And
I'm hearing a lot of frustration in the driver chat as well, so something crazy must have happened there.
Yeah, you see Ben Mashburn there, and oh my goodness, he gets thrown up and over right there. Let's see if we can go back and get another look at maybe what happened a little bit further back in the pack. You see Garrett Gleason there in the number 7 doing a fantastic job of getting his truck slowed up. But I think it all started up around, I think, Kyle Lewis. So let's see what happened here. Let's see if we can slow this down.
The 87 of Chip Hansen is saying something in driver chat, so he may have not been able to get going good.
So let's kind of see. Yeah, the 87 did not get going all too well. Now, John Doble in the number 3 machine, he was involved. This is about where it all started. Maybe the 87 did not. Maybe he missed the shift there. It
looks like he missed it.
It looks like he missed the shift.
Checked everybody out.
Yeah, 62 of Hillary gets into the back of Doble. And you see JT Poole gets into the back of the 62. But for the trucks in the inside line, just really nowhere to go. Then Mashburn comes up, gets JT Poole, your points leader right there. And look at the number 28 machine there of Evan Gilbert. Gets thrown up into the wall and straight back down into the inside wall. The 18 still spinning back there as Ben Mashburn gets absolutely launched. We're going to have to go back and get another look at that with the 3-wide TV cam. But, man, Doug Neal in the inside wall back there. Dalton Hayes. I think we'll have to go back and get a look here of what happened to Dalton Hayes to see if he was able to squeak on through this. Here we go on board with the number 47 of Dalton Hayes, looking out back at the back of the number 1 machine of Jason Gracias. So there's the contact. Man, he can't really see a whole lot. Gets down there. Oh, man, he just clipped the inside wall. Could have been a lot worse. But, man, look at Ben Mashburn going flipping.
Yeah, I believe he's got to use his fast repair, though. Any damage here just seems to be, because it's, you're going so fast. Any damage here, usually you have to use that fast repair if it's too bad. Sometimes you can stay in a draft and be okay, but that was a pretty hard shot.
We are trying to get a onboard right here with driver number 24 machine, Ben Mashburn, put it into the 3-wide TV slow motion camera. And folks, we are going to give the gyro cam a pretty good workout, as you did get a look there of one truck that elected to start from pit lane. There's the contact with the wall, and there's the sky. That is not what you want to see out the front of your car, and then he just goes rolling. There's the sun even just goes roll. Look at the air that he gets in that number 24 machine. Definitely not the air you want to get on these race cars. As he grinds it to a halt there, he has had to take a tow back to pit road. But there was one truck who started from pit lane back there. I'm not sure who that was. It looks like it was Evan Burke in the number 42 machine. I'll tell you what, Ben, at this point, he's probably just looking at the racetrack going, you know what? I'm probably pretty glad I started from pit lane.
Yeah, it's one of those. I always say I'm going to start from pit lane, and I never do. But boy, that was the right call for him.
So we are under the caution flag, the first caution flag here tonight. We had barely made it a football field into the race here tonight before the first caution flag flew. That was really unfortunate. Like you said, I think it was just a misshift up at the front of the field gone wrong, and it unfortunately led to big one, number one here tonight. We still have a couple of trucks on pit road. Evan Gilbert, Ben Mashburn still sitting in their pit box. I think they're still taking a tow back from that accident. Yeah,
it's like 3 minutes, so you're probably looking at a 4-minute tow, or about a 3-minute tow. So yeah, that even though they're going to be able to get their damage all repaired, they're still going to probably lose a lap off the tow alone.
Yeah, so a couple of drivers like Stephen Ford, Jason Shue there, and John Noble, not sure if they used the fast repair or not. Looks like John Noble definitely did use a fast repair. They're going to stay on the lead lap. There's Mike Floppy Tellier just now coming off pit road. But they're going to have to catch this field here. They're halfway down the backstretch. Pace car lights are off, so hopefully we can have a better restart here than we had at the top of the show. Big thanks to everyone joining us in the chat here tonight for the GoDadRacer 170 here at the iRacing Superspeedway. I'm Peter Short, and joining me alongside is Ben Adams for all the fun here tonight. Tana Himmelman saying, geez Louise, they're going to feel that in the morning. Tristan Mayer saying single file restart. That was a double file restart, and we're going to have another one here coming up. Johnny Williams saying good luck all, and hello to the booth. Johnny, one of the TNR boys, one of the old TNR boys from back in the NASCAR Racing 2003 days. And a big shout out to him. And definitely going to be a fun, hopefully, once we get some green flag laps in. Pace car going to turn down onto pit road this time. It didn't last all too long down there last time, but hopefully we can make it to the start-finish line here again. Andrew Himmelman going to lead the field to the green. This time it's the number 9 machine of James Orello to his outside, and we're back racing at iRacing Superspeedway. And the good news is, I take that all back.
No, they're right.
The bad news is that, good news, I think we made it a little bit further this time, Ben. Bad news, we're back under caution.
Yeah, I don't know what. Let's see what happened there.
So here we are on the 3-wide TV replay, looking a little bit further back in the field. And Ben Mashburn tried going, and then the 20 tried going, and oh man, we're straight down into Garrett Gleason. And I think we saw the 18 get involved somewhere in that as well. But that was just a couple of drivers possibly being a little bit impatient. And the bad news for Ben Mashburn, that's both his fast repairs gone in the first 5 laps or so of the race.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder if somebody else missed another shift. I don't understand. They just didn't seem to get going.
Yeah, it just... Mashburn tried not to get into the back of Jason Freeman there, and unfortunately when that happened, he got on the brakes a little bit too much, and it just kind of came out from underneath him. That definitely seemed to be the case in that particular incident. Let's see if we can go back and watch it from on board with the number 20 machine, because I know Freeman there was trying to jump the restart, it looked like, and maybe just a little bit antsy, as there was definitely checking up going on. And really for Freeman, he didn't check up a whole lot, but behind him there's a spinning mess. Good job there by Mike Floppy Tellier in the number 97 machine. We'll get a quick look on board with him, as
because usually by that point you're already pretty much on the throttle, by that point, because they were almost to start finish line when the checkup started happening. It's kind of strange. Yeah,
so that's what it looked like out back of Mike Floppy Tellier. You saw the 24 go in front of him, go up the racetrack, and then he was kind of lucky as Mashburn came back down the racetrack and did not end up taking him out. But that is going to put us back under caution here. You see a couple of trucks coming down pit road. Garrett Gleason there, the Master Millwright number 7. That's the Robbie Gordon-inspired Johns Manville machine right there. And then the 47, Dalton Hayes, back behind him. And you mentioned, Ben, that he probably used up his fast repair already in the Copart.com number 47, so I'm sure we're going to see a lot of pitting out of him. The 18 there, Kyle Lewis, I think he had to use a fast repair in that first incident, so we know he's probably going to have to come down here and just get some damage repaired. A lot of really damaged trucks here in the first 7 laps.
Yeah, the good part is, we talked about how long it takes to tow, to get around here on the tow, but the good thing, if there is a good thing, is you got plenty of time under caution to get a lot of damage repaired here because the laps are so long, because obviously they have to cover 3 miles. So hopefully they can get it down and get back out and kind of get in the draft and run around and get a good finish still.
Yeah, because it's all about the points at the end of the season. One bad night. You are going to have bad nights here in the Super Speedway Series, Ben, because you're just going to get involved in the big one. And unfortunately, 2 big accidents here in the opening couple of laps. I wonder if it's drivers missing shift, or I wonder if it's also drivers maybe having a little bit of wheel spin.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Wheel spin is typically not a huge deal here, but if you're trying to start down a gear and you haven't been doing it, you can get a lot of wheel spin. So that's a good point.
So we'll see whether or not our third attempt at starting the race here tonight will be any more successful than the first 2 attempts. Johnny Williams is saying the number 7 truck is actually based off of Kenny Irwin's old truck. It was Johns Manville, though, right, Johnny? Correct me if I'm wrong, or was it something else on that truck? It definitely reminds me of one of those old Johns Manville schemes. Just let me know. I'm curious to know. Of course, Johnny Williams is a spectacular painter in his own right. We have quite a few here in the National Sim Racing Association community. We got, of course, Christopher Darling of the MaxGraphics.co fame. He'll be giving out the Hard Charger Award here tonight. And quite a few others. I know Drew Eisenman, who's typically up here in the booth with me, he is one of the best painters that I know, and it's really great to see a lot of these really good-looking National Sim Racing Association trucks.
It's just looking back through the field, it looks like Colin Ullery may not have taken his fast repair, and he's been able to climb back up to 5th. He's got a pretty dented-in rear bumper and a dented-in front bumper, and he's hanging in there, so that could be a sign for what we could expect out of damaged trucks tonight.
Yeah, hopefully these drivers can get their cars all sorted out and patched up and able to hang with the pack. We know these trucks do punch a very big hole in the air. And I'll tell you what, Ben, I've tried to lead him to the green the first 2 times. Why don't you lead him to the green this time? Because I've been unsuccessful.
All right, here they go. The pace car turns hard left and waiting on Andrew. There he goes. He got a bad start. Oh yeah, more chaos. Man,
it has to be wheel spin for it to happen over and over again. But look at this, already 3 wide as they go off into turn number 1. Himmelman going to lose a couple of spots. That's going to give James Morello the race lead over the number 11 machine. Christopher Darling is right back behind him. Look at William Kirwan Jr. right there. The number 52 machine has a Target on the 52 this week, picking up Target as a sponsor on that truck. He is trying to go to the lead. Look at Colin Ullery, and Andrew Himmelman says, you know what? I'm not going to go with you there, William. I'm going to try and go back up to the race lead, as he has a little bit of help from the SimShots number 62 right back behind him.
Yeah, you absolutely feel like Superman when you go down the backstretch with a good draft, and you get a run, and it feels like you're 10 miles an hour faster. And sometimes they shut your run down, and you got to make a choice. Do I force it? Or, what do I do? And he made a good move right there. JT Poole's going to try to come up the middle too.
Yeah, JT Poole, that number 26 Irwin Tools machine, your points leader coming into tonight. He has been involved in the early accidents. You see a little bit of damage on the front of that number 26 machine. But you know what? Doesn't seem like that damage is affecting him all too much, at least not right now, as he's racing with some of those trucks around him that, you know, haven't really been involved in anything just yet. And that's the key word, just yet. As you can quickly see how things change here at iRacing Superspeedway. We're looking right now at John Doble. He was one of those drivers involved in the first accident here tonight, running behind the number 12 of Shane Ledoux right there. But up at the front, Christopher Darling, the number 11, he's taking his time now at the front of the field as we are working lap number 11 of 57 here in tonight's GoDadRacer 170.
Yeah, Peter, I got a little bit of news that I guess I could break. Andrew won his split in the Coca-Cola 600 today.
Well, that's pretty awesome. All 600 miles?
600 miles, full length. It's a special event that they've put on for the race this weekend, and he finished it up about maybe 6:30 and jumped right into this truck. So pretty impressive. He was in second split, so you know that's a pretty big deal.
That is absolutely awesome. Congratulations to Andrew. Maybe he can pick up win number 2 here tonight in the GTR Simulator Super Speedway Series. As Chris Darling, James Arello currently 1-2. Here comes Jason Freeman in his number 20 machine right there. MDR on the hood. Mason Dixon Cornhole on the side, of his machine. Colin Ullery back behind him. It's Andrew Himmelman and Jason Grossi is now teaming up on the high line. They're starting to fall back a little bit here, Ben, as they just don't exactly have the numbers right now. It's kind of a numbers game up at the front of the field.
Yeah, but take note again of Colin. He's able to stay right there in 4th place with a heavily damaged truck. So that says, you know, you can have damage and still compete tonight.
That is absolutely the case. Working lap number 13 of 57, just starting to get all these drivers to start to ride here, be a bit more patient after we had some opening caution flags here in the first 2 attempts to get this race underway, but finally we have got the race underway and getting a little bit of green flag side-by-side action. Here comes the number 9 machine of James Arello up to the top side of the racetrack with help from the number 21 machine of Jeffrey Vickery, who started on the outside pole in his threat level Midnight Chevy Silverado. He's going to drop down to the bottom side of the racetrack right in front of his teammate in the number 12 of Shane Ledoux. So 2 of the threat level Midnights here teaming up, and I think the threat level for those threat level Midnight machines just going up here week after week here in the National Sim Racing Association GTR Simulator Truck Series. They definitely know their way around these super speedways, and here tonight just showing it here in the early running. Just looking to see if we got any heavily damaged trucks from the earlier incidents, and indeed we do. Stephen Ford here, one of the other threat level Midnight machines, damaged and well off the pace right there. Dalton Hayes in the 47, he's running in 22nd. He is damaged and off the pace. Evan Gilbert is currently being scored about 2 laps behind your race leader, but he was able to use that fast repair. He went with a big incident in the lap number 1 accident and had to use a tow back to pit road. That is how he finds himself 2 laps sped down, but perhaps he would be able to pick up one of those Lucky Dog awards brought to you by JR's Mobile Detailing if we get another couple of cautions, so he's not out of it just yet, Ben.
Oh no, he's definitely a factor. There's going to be many more cautions, especially as racy as they are right now. People are getting antsy already.
Yeah, that they are. It seems like they just want to get to the front, and that's one of the good things about these trucks is you can make the passes, you can draft up, you can really lay it on someone with the bumper, you know, with the bump drafting, but at the same time, those runs that you get, Ben, are huge. They can be hard to control and can lead to accidents. That's what we have seen here over the opening 2 weeks. After having a lot of green flag runs last season with the Cup car, with the current Cup package that they have, they decided to go to these trucks because they're a lot more fun to drive. They're also, let's be honest, a lot more fun to commentate from up here in the 3YT booth. But it has led to a lot more accidents, as you can see how difficult they are to drive there coming out of turn number 4.
No, it's like the bottom. I can't even explain the feeling. It goes from extremely banked and just kind of goes flat in a very short period of time, and you can lose. You can lose it right there if you're not, and if your wheels turn too hard or anything like that. But yeah, it's a crazy sensation to go from that banked to almost completely flat.
So just on board with a couple of these trucks here as these laps continue to tick away. There you can see that transition from the banking, from the flat to the banking, and here the opposite, from the banking to the flat on the backstretch of the racetrack. And this racetrack is not flat by any means. There's still a decent amount of banking. It feels very flat because these corners here are just banked so much, Ben. As you see
right there. Did you see how he hits that curve? When you hit that curve, it's basically you're just along for the ride.
Yeah, you just hoping at that point that there's no truck outside of you. It's the number 3 of John Doble. What happened here to Doble? Let's see if we can see what happened to the number 3 truck. Is contact with the 87, and oh my goodness, what a save out of John Doble. Now he's not going to be all too happy with that after that contact there with Chip Hansen. But he's lucky. He's going to be able to keep that truck going and not have a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, that was weird. He just kind of shot up the track real fast.
Yeah, not sure if he it didn't look like he clipped that apron like you mentioned. It seemed like he was clear of it, but anyway.
He was all the way into the middle, so I don't know.
We remain green here at the iRacing Superspeedway. For right now, it is Christopher Darling, Jason Freeman, Colin Ullery, James Lorello, and Jason Gracias, your top 5 as they jump across the stripe. You see the field closing in on the number 47 Copart.com machine of Dalton Hayes as he is about to go another lap down here. There is Mike Floppy Tellier, Garrett Gleason, those two trucks working together out there behind that pack that you see right there. Look at this scrum of vehicles halfway down the back stretch. Jeff Wyatt, the OGR Racing machine, going up there through the middle. You see the number 43 of Evan Burke, the Verizon machine. You see number 43 on the side of that truck, but on the scoring pylon, it says number 42 up there at the top of the screen. And there you see the field there going by Dalton Hayes as he will go another lap down here. I think right now if we were to get a caution flag, Stephen Ford would be your lucky dog as he's the first car one or more laps down. But with John Doble kind of losing the draft a little bit, there he is. He is in danger of potentially going a lap down at some point. There's Jason Shue. He is also fallen out of the lead draft as well. So those two drivers here kind of struggling.
I believe also we're getting pretty close at lap 20 to pit stops. I don't think they can go too much further.
Let's see if we can bring up the graphic for that. Well, no need to.
I was right.
There they are, all coming down pit road. Man, Andrew Himmelman back there having a little bit of an issue on the brakes, but able to get everything wound up. And the first set of trucks on pit road. Now we do have 9 drivers currently on the lead lap staying out. And it is a battle between the number 20 and the number 9 machine. But I think everyone...
I'll tell you what, man. Colin Ullery, he knows how to get into pit road. I've tried to get him to teach me, but he still beats me by 2 car lengths every time. He is just a master of getting on pit roads at super speedways.
And we saw Chris Darling actually make it into his pit box for once. Unbelievable stuff. Contact! Contact between Vickery and Jason Freeman. And they're going to sort things out. They were lucky there. But up at the front, Jason Freeman, he's going to go past the start-finish line again. Not so lucky for Jeffrey Vickery. He shoots down onto pit road with Shane Ledoux and James Arello also coming down pit road right now.
Yeah, that was great heads-up driving by the 86 of Jeff Wyatt. I mean, boy, he saved both of them.
Now this is the field that's out there on the racetrack right now. Let's see if we can bring up the stint length. And you can see here... Jason Freeman, he pitted under those cautions there, Ben, as you see some of the other trucks coming off pit road right here. In fact, everyone basically everyone in this group that we're watching right here has come down pit road at some point tonight as I fight off the yawns,
Andrew.
folks. It's not that boring. I promise. I'm just really tired.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what happened to Andrew. I don't know whether he lost his drafting partner or if he had something happen on pit road. He's falling back pretty good. You can kind of see him falling out of the picture.
Yeah, he didn't have.
Starling's come up pretty good.
He didn't have a terrible pit time. Let's see if we can bring up those pit stop times here for you. So you can see those different pit stop times there for the different drivers from the last time they were on pit road. In fact, every time they were on pit road here tonight. And Andrew Himmelman there sitting in 11th. He had a 19.3, the 11.9. I cannot talk. 11.9 second stop for him. Colin Ullery a little bit faster at 11.3. Chris Darling 11.8. But I don't know if Himmelman just didn't have a great stop, but I think more so he didn't have a great job getting to pit road. It seemed like he might have locked up the brakes a little bit. But that's not all too concerning because he's still there with a couple of the other trucks. Now he's kind of going up the middle there. And whoa, contact. Oh, contact. As the number 62 machine.
Good save.
Yeah, very good save there. Colin Ullery, good heads-up driving as Jason Gracias, the number 1 machine, made contact there with Andrew Himmelman. Let's see if we can go back and get another look at this one here on the 3-wide TV replay. Going off into the corner there. Went 3 wide here. And going up through the middle. Watch this contact here, Ben, between the number 1 and the number 8 right there. In fact, it might have been a little bit of net code.
A little net code, yeah.
But, yeah, look at the 86 there. Jeff Wyatt fishtailing in his machine.
Yeah, he's had to change his pants twice in the last 5 laps, I tell you, man. He's good heads-up driving.
In fact, it is Jeff Wyatt currently being scored as your race leader. As a couple of these trucks is again 3 wide going off into turn number 1. That didn't work out last time. And luckily able to work out this time there as this group of trucks right now is led by the number 11 of Chris Darling, but he is just on the cusp of going 1 lap down. But we do know that this pack of trucks is going to have to come down pit road here shortly. Well, at least some of them are. Jason Freeman, Jason Gracias, Mike Floppy Tellier, then 97, Jeff Wyatt, Garrett Gleason, and Stephen Dozie. In fact, here they come down pit road right now. Jason Freeman leading them down. Oh, Garrett Gleason. Oh, man. The number 7 of Gleason, he's going to get a speeding penalty. That is for sure in his number 7 machine, the Rebestos Brakes inspired number 7 machine. Johnny Williams correcting me earlier as he gets into his pit stall. That is going to be a lengthy stop. Now, we did have one driver, Ben, stay out right now, and that is Jeff Wyatt in the number 86 machine. But the good news for him is he's still got a couple of trucks to draft off of, and he can now come down pit road all by himself, kind of at a leisurely rate, if you will. Now, leisurely rate and racing doesn't really go together.
Yeah, that's not gonna play well though, because when he comes back out, if he doesn't have a drafting partner, he's gonna lose seconds, and I mean seconds per lap.
Well, let's keep our eyes on this group of people. There's Jason Freeman right there. Let's see if we can look out back. There's Jason Gracias in the number 1, and then back behind him is Mike Floppy Tellier, and here comes Tellier up there onto the racetrack. There's John Doble, the number 3 machine of John Doble. Just looking to see if John Doble... No, he's had an all-right pit stop, but look at these drivers at speed, led by the number 11 of Chris Darling, and just like that, Darling is going to be able to get his machine back up to the front right here, right now, as this is going to be your lead pack. A couple of lap trucks in this group of cars as well. Where's Jeff Wyatt? He's hustling to get out there onto the racetrack, and look at this. Looking out back at the number 86 machine, you said that he needs a drafting partner. He really needs to join in with this pack and join in quickly here if he's going to have any shot of sticking with these trucks. And it looks like they're just blasting on by him.
He's like Ricky Bobby when he comes back to racing at Talladega Nights. What just passed me? Because he's in trouble now. And now the problem is to the next caution, he's going to be just losing so much time without anybody to help him draft.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. Now, we do have this lead pack right here. This lead pack consists of the top 8 trucks Then you have Jeff Wyatt. There he is in the number 86 machine. And then you have to go back to Steven Doziak in the number 55. There's Doziak. And then Jeffrey Vickery is leading another slew of trucks. They fan out here, coming out at turn number 4 across the start-finish line here as we work lap number 28 of 57, closing in on the halfway mark. This time by, there is Christopher Darling, his race leader. Andrew Himmelman in second, picked up the pole award here, the BAM Auto Pole Award at the top of the show. We have been caution free here from about lap number 9 was when we went back to the green flag after a couple of early race caution flags, but a good deal that we have seen some good green flag action here. Let's go check out the chat. Let's go see what's been going on here. JT and Drew already did the 4-hour race. That was the Coca-Cola 600 that you mentioned. I myself, Ben, I did that race back in the day, back in 2012, and at that point, in fact, it might have been 2010 when I did the World 600. It was the first time iRacing had ever done the World 600. And at that point, I looked, and of course that was, when iRacing was still relatively young. I was in second split. I finished second in that race, and I finished second behind a real-world driver. And I felt really accomplished. But at that point, it was the very longest iRacing race that had ever been run up till that point. In fact, it held that designation because there were so many cautions. It was a 6.5-hour race.
Oh my goodness, man, that's incredible.
It was a 6.5-hour race, and it was absolute torture. More than half the race was run under the yellow flag. I think the exact number ended up being about 257 laps of yellow flag at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but I finished second, and that was really cool. That's actually when iRacing used to send you a PDF for finishing up in the front of the field in those special events. So I got a PDF somewhere printed out that says second place in the iRacing World 600. Yeah, it was wild. It was absolutely wild back then. But anyway, it's been wild here tonight as we now in the second half of the NSRA GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series, the GoDadRacer 170 here on 3Y TV. Folks, make sure you join us tomorrow night right here on 3Y TV, 9 o'clock Eastern, for more National Sim Racing Association action. The Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series goes to Dover International Speedway. And Ben, you're going to be in that one. I love Dover. It's one of my favorite racetracks to go to. I'm really looking forward to watching all you guys do battle out.
Yeah, Dover was my best finish last year. I got second place to James Orello. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Dover. I was just testing earlier today, getting the setup. We're running a Craig's setup shop, custom-made setup for us tomorrow night. So should be a very interesting race. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I definitely am as well. I'm really curious to know how that Craig's setup does run for you guys tomorrow. Dover is a very difficult racetrack, but at the same time, Craig's setup shop, one of the premier setup shops in all of sim racing, and of course the sponsor of the Pole Award tomorrow night. So big shout out to them, and you definitely won't want to miss it here on 3Y TV. But of course here tonight, iRacing Superspeedway, Chris Darling is your race leader, Andrew Himmelman in second, JT Poole, Colin Ullery back there. You see the number 78 machine. That is Doug Neal in the Simbox machine as they catch up to the number 9 of James Arello, who's about to fall one lap down. James Arello did not have... He must have had some issue on pit road here.
I believe I saw him come down pit road not long ago. So, I don't know, maybe he had to pit again or he was on some kind of odd sequence. I'm not sure.
He pitted on lap number 21. By my count. I don't know if
his truck looks up to speed though, so I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, he didn't have a long pit stop either. It just seems like he had a really long pit lane time, and I really don't know why that would have been the case. You can go back and see if we can catch a little bit of a 3Y TV replay and do a little bit of sleuthing here on the Lorello pit stop. That's typically what I like to do, is 3-wide TV sleuthing. You know, it's always fun.
Got to solve the mysteries.
Yeah, got to solve the mysteries. That's right. I mean, at this point, he's already going pretty slow. He's going really slow at this point. I mean, we saw a couple of drivers really charge it onto pit road really hard, and it seems like Lorello here just really gingerly getting on pit road, coming down to his pit box. I think that's where he lost all that time, because my live timing and scoring actually starts counting drivers when they're kind of on the apron, so that's probably why he had such a long pit stop time, or pit lane time, I should say. But you compare that to Colin Ullery, who had a 47.92 pit lane time. James Arello's was almost 20 seconds slower than that. So, not sure what was up there, but unfortunately for the number 9 machine of James Arello, he is currently being scored 1 lap down in the 16th position. JT Poole.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, JT Poole's now gotten himself to the front.
Yeah, whenever we go to the next pit stop, just watch Colin and how he'll pass cars going on the pit road. I've never seen anybody that could do what he does. I try it and I just spin out. So yeah, just watch him next time he comes in. It's really something to see.
Well, it won't be all too long before we see these trucks headed back down pit road with 22 laps to go. It'll probably be about maybe 3, 4, maximum 5 laps till we start to see some more of these trucks coming down pit road, because you have to remember we had all those caution flag laps under that first run. We haven't had any caution flags since lap number 7. So I do expect to see some of these trucks on pit road here quite soon, as we do bring up the stint length. That's a lot of the field right there. We'll dial that down to just the top 10. But it's been 15 laps.
I like that graphic. It's very informative.
Yeah, I mean, I can crank it up to the entire field if I want to. I make it as big as I want. There you go. You lose 3/4 of your screen, but you get a pretty cool graphic.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see that. It's those types of things that sometimes you wish you could see from behind the wheel when you're driving these cars.
Caution. I was going to say, how did JT get so far out front?
Well, we do have a caution. Let's see what went down here. We're hearing it is the number 21 machine of Jeffrey Vickery, running right behind Dalton Hayes, and gets into Dalton Hayes, and oh man, Jeff White nowhere to go. Dalton Hayes gets hit again. He's been hit a couple of times, and trucks going around on the backstretch. Oh man, that's a heavy hit there for the number 86 machine of Jeff White. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. Let's look here at the 86 Old Guy Racing machine. Let's jump on board. There's the contact, nowhere for him to go. And unfortunately, I thought he had it saved. I bet you he thought he had it saved, but there's the inside safer barrier, and the Old Guy Racing number 86 machine has gone onto pit road under this.
Yeah, let's hope he has a fast repair. Maybe, I'm surely hoping he has fast repair.
So let's see what happened here. Just the contact between those two trucks, and that's kind of how the racetrack flattens out, and it has a kind of a big bump there coming out of turn number 2 bend. I mean, you can't really see it, but you can definitely feel it from behind the wheel.
Yeah, that's what I try to explain it. It's just really hard when you come off that transition, especially when you're holding your wheel tight, and he's already got the dirty air from the 47. So right about here, it'll just kind of shift you over to the left, and you don't even hardly even know it. It almost just carries you over. So yeah, I'm sure that's what got him. Tough break.
Yeah, definitely a tough break. And Dalton Hayes also in the number 47 machine, right down in front of Kyle Lewis. And
it doesn't look like the 21 got tore up too bad though. He may be okay.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think the number 21 of Vickery, I think he might be okay. You see him sliding to a halt there. Just looks like the 4 corners of that truck are all pretty square, so that's the good news. Meanwhile, while we were watching that action, we did have quite a few trucks come down pit road. Ooh, Well, I take that back. Jeffrey Vickery's got a blown motor, Ben,
Oh,
so it didn't look all that bad, but I guess it was. And that will probably be a pretty lengthy pit, especially if he did not click his fast repair, which it didn't look like he did. But meanwhile, up at the front of the field, we aren't sure, folks, whether or not these trucks will be able to make it to the end of the race. It's going to be close. Whether they can make it to the end of the race from this moment in time. We saw trucks go 20 laps before, but that took a couple of caution flags. Potentially.
Did Chris Darling and Colin stay out is what I'm wondering. I don't think they came in and got fuel.
They
Bring up your nifty graphic. Let's see what
all
it
right,
says.
nifty graphic time. Nifty graphic time. Nifty graphic time.
They're coming now. They're coming in now.
Yeah, they're coming in now. Okay, so we did have some drivers just come off pit road. Maybe those were the trucks that were damaged in that last accident. We saw a couple of them there sitting on pit road. But now you got these drivers coming down pit road. You can see the little dots start to appear there on the right of everyone's name, far right.
That makes more sense. I couldn't picture a world where they would not come in with 19 to go. Because at the very least, they're very close to making it on fuel.
I think the big question is going to be how many of these drivers are going to come back down pit road to top off with fuel before we get that one to go.
Play.
You know,
because you're always thinking about green, white checker here, and that's what they've had. A lot of people say, well, I can make it to the end, but that don't really do you any good if you can't really account for at least one green, white checker. So let's see if they do come down and top it off.
And the pace car lights have turned off, so I was thinking they might get an extra opportunity to come down pit road and top off, but they do not. So we will see them re-rack and start to go back racing here with 18 laps here at the iRacing Superspeedway. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Kind of quiet in the chat here tonight.
Yeah,
the GTR Simulator
what's
Superspeedway. I'm asking the same thing. What is Tana doing in the chat? Nothing. Tana, where are you? We'll just have to wait for her to respond. Maybe she can't hear us. We had that problem. She says she's here. All right. Well, hopefully you're enjoying it here on 3 Wide TV. And hope everyone else in the chat is having a good time here tonight. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already to 3 Wide TV. A little bit of an interesting restart here. Only a couple of trucks doubling up for the restart, as a lot of the trucks came down pit road right at the end there of that last caution flag. So we had a lot of single file trucks on the restart, but it is William Kirwan, the 52, that leads us back to green over Christopher Darling, Colin Ullery, JT Poole, and Shane Ledoux.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see these guys work their way back up to the front, how fast. I don't believe we had anybody come back in and top off, so we can check that off.
Yeah, we got
is that Kyle Lewis coming off?
Yeah, he's just now coming off pit road. I'm trying to see. I believe Stephen Ford was our JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award under that to caution, so he got one of his laps back. Unfortunately, he is still being scored 1 lap down in the number 14 threat level Midnight Machine. But up at the front, it is still William Kirwan with now 17 laps to go at the iRacing Superspeedway. Second spot, Chris Darling. He's led a good number of laps. Colin Ullery behind him. Andrew Himmelman's got his way back up into 5th. Of course, he picked up the pole award brought to you by Bam Auto at the beginning of the night. Behind him, Doug Neal. He was also a lap down at one point, so I think he's also picked up the JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award at some point, because I think he lost the lap in the very first caution flag of the night. Could have been wrong in that statement, but good to see that number 78 up there inside the top 10.
Yeah, you can certainly tell which truck is Doug Neal, right? It's nice and bright.
Yeah, in fact, you can't miss any of his SimShots teammates. The 971 Nathan Maurer, who's not here tonight, I guess you can miss him if he's not on the racetrack. That's one way to do it. But the 971 Nathan Maurer is bright orange, can't miss it. And also Travis White in the number 23 machine. He kind of has a unique, kind of an ice gray, I would say, on his number 23 truck. So a couple of very unique Simbox machines, but Doug Neal is leading that team here tonight as we start to go double file for the race lead once again. Oh, contact! The 28 machine, excuse me, and Jason Freeman. And Freeman's up the racetrack, Colin O'Leary, and the 55 of Doziak just got absolutely launched into the catch fence. Caution is out.
I think the replay from Andrew Himmelman's truck is going to be impressive. Did you see it came right across? He turned hard left, and I'm not sure if he hit him or not.
And I think that was a bump gone wrong here, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if we can go back and...
Chris Darling, just incredible drive not to get into that wreck.
Let's see if we can bring up the slow motion. Keep our eyes on the number 28 machine, trying to get a good look at it here. Well, this will probably tell the story. Just gets
not squared up.
Yeah, gets a little bit off center, like you said there, Ben, and just kind of a bad bump. And fortunately for the number 20 of Jason Freeman, he comes down into William Kirwan, and then he gets turned around right there. And then
look at Chris, man. Wow.
And then he comes up, and then look at the number 55 of Doziak, just getting absolutely impaled in the outside wall, riding the wall, and then back down into JT Pool. And we know JT Pool's used the fast repair here tonight, so I think JT Pool's night will presumably be done. I think Colin O'Leary's night will be done. My, oh my.
Yeah, it looks like a gyro cam shot to me there from in the 55.
You read my mind. We are going to go back, and we are going to get a look on board with Steven Doziak Jr. here. It is going to be gyro cam time here on 3 Wide TV. Here we go. Running up over the number 55. There's the initial contact, and watch the number 20 come up the racetrack. Boom! Into the outside wall.
Wow.
Ends up on all fours, but you can see he's trying to turn that wheel to go straight. It's just barely turning. That is one tore-up race truck. Night done for Steven Doziak, unless he still has a fast repair, which he might, but hopefully he can get that truck repaired in a hurry if that is not the case.
I just can't say enough about the job and the patience that Chris Darling showed. We had to go back and watch it from his in-car camera because the patience it took to avoid that wreck was just unbelievable.
You read my mind. Looking outboard of the number 11 of Christopher Darling. There's the contact. There's the 52 coming back up and just able to... I know, look at that carnage back behind. That is definitely a pretty heavy hit for a lot of trucks back there, and a lot of drivers saying night done here at this racetrack. Unfortunately, so let's go.
Steven Doziak has been released from the infield care center. That is a good thing to hear, Steven.
Yeah, and that number 55 truck, I think that one's probably going to a scrapyard, unfortunately. Meanwhile, back up at the front of the field, we're back live. William Kirwan, the 52, is your race leader. Now, there was that contact there just a little bit ago. Just waiting to see if he's going to come back onto pit road here. I don't think he can make it to the end of the race on fuel. At least by my math. It's going to be close. Going to be very close whether or not he can make it to the end of the race on fuel. Maybe he's thinking we're going to get some more cautions, but he does stay out. Pace car lights do stay on, at least here for now. Mike Tellier in second. Chip Hansen, Jeff Wyatt, the 87 and the 86 working together there in third and fourth. And Evan Burke rounding out your top five as of right now. A couple of new players up inside the top five.
Yeah, this is certainly, this race has not disappointed. It has been action-packed pretty much from the very start. We had, 2 pile-ups on the first 2 starts. Just great action all night long.
That is definitely the case here. As we see, the pace car lights have turned off. We're going to get set to go back green. Try to see who was our JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award, and I think we do have our answer. Once again, it is Stephen Ford.
There we go.
JR's Lucky Dog here. Make sure you check out JR's Mobile Detailing here. Link is in the description. If you want to check out their website. But a couple of JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Awards for the number 14 machine here over the last 2 cautions, and that sees him back on the lead lap here tonight.
Yeah, so who is, we got to do a quick recon to see who would be 1 lap down right now, so we can kind of get an idea who to watch for the next Lucky Dog Award.
Jason Freeman and Evan Gilbert are your 2 trucks that are currently being scored 1 lap down, I do believe. There's the number 38, but of course, or number 28, excuse me. But the 28 is tore up from that last accident, and Jason Freeman there in the number 20, I think he was able to use a faster pair, but he is 1 lap down right now. So we'll keep an eye on those 2 trucks to see if they can make it back on the lead lap, if we get another caution flag and give out another one of those JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Awards. But Ben, we're about to go back green.
Let's go. I'm ready. If William Kirwan wins the race, does he get the $5 in iRacing credits from himself?
I think he's just going to keep that in his pocket.
Somebody's got to give him $5 in iRacing credit.
Oh, the 86 and the 87 going around. Jeff Wyatt into the inside wall, and we're going to have to give out another one of those JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Awards because we got another caution flag here at iRacing Superspeedway. It all seemed to happen between so the 8 gets to the inside of the 86. The 86 comes down, and unfortunately for Jeff Wyatt there in the 86, just bounced it off the inside wall a couple times. And
not too bad.
Yeah, Chip Hansen there in the 87. We'll see whether or not he had kind of any damage in this. Let's go down to quarter speed so we can watch this all break down how it happened. So Andrew's there going up through the middle there, Ben, and I don't think Jeff knew he was trying to go down there, and I think he comes down a little bit, clips the 87, they go around. Look at Chris Darling once again, needs another new pair of underpants in his number 11 machine, but I don't think that Chip Hansen really hit all too much either, so that's good news for the 87. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think everybody's good. Jeff Wyatt's going to have some damage. He'll be a little slower, but he should be okay. But Chris Darling, man, he is just making some moves of the night. I'm telling you, it's just one after another. Look at that! Wow.
Right place at the right time for the number 11 machine.
I don't think Andrew got any damage either, so that may be no harm, no foul. Let's just go again.
Yeah, we do hope that is the case, that these drivers can get back out there and sort it out. Of course, we did see Jeff White make some contact with the wall, but maybe the old guy racing machine will still have a faster pair left on pit road. Only time will tell. A little bit banged up there in the left front, and I think there's a little bit of damage on the right rear as well, and possibly even the left rear, but not a whole lot. But up at the front of the field, Mike Floppy Tellier was able to get the number 97 machine to the front. Could we see the Canadian get to victory lane here tonight? And, of course, keeping my eye on who is picking up that Lucky Dog Award brought to you by JR's Mobile Detailing. I think we're about to find out here. Let's see if we can figure it out. And there you go. It is the number 20. Jason Freeman picking up your JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog under this caution. But what we've been seeing here tonight, Ben, is cautions breeding cautions.
Yeah, and we've also, we've seen a lot of bumps that's gone wrong. So you get close together like that, nowhere to go. You try to go 3 wide, the guy don't hear you. We'll see what happens, but I think everybody's gonna be ready to rock and roll. What do you think we can go with these last 10 laps in with no cautions?
I hope so. We need to get in one of those JKR's Crank It Up. JKR Simulations Crank It Up before the end of the race here on 3-Wide TV. Hopefully we can go caution-free to the end when the green flag finally does come out. JKR Motorsports, make sure you check them out. Link is in the description to their Facebook page. Really fun to have them on board here this season in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series, one of the series sponsors, and you can see their logo up there in the top left-hand corner of your screen, facebook.com/JKRM21. There'll be 9 laps to go this time by. Pace car lights continue to stay on. We'll see. 8 laps to go. Pace car lights are off. So it looks like we're going to have about a 7-lap shootout here. If my math is correct, well, I don't know why it's still saying 9 laps to go, but they
waved off the green.
They did wave off the green. So if it's still actually 9 laps to go, like it says it is, then my math is still right. We'll still have a 7-lap shootout when we go back green here in about 2 laps. But Ben, why don't we see if we can bring up one of the drivers out there on the racetrack right now while we have a little bit of extra time. Let's see if we can talk to the Canadian driver, Mike Floppy Tellier. Let's see if we can drag him up here into the 3-wide TV booth. And just I don't want to drag him up here in with a hot mic. I don't want to do that. I've done that before, and we'll let him calm down. All right, Ben, why don't you take it away?
Hey, Mike, this is Ben and Peter in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Man, tell us about what's going on out there. Seems like crazy action all over the place.
That describes it perfectly, like to a T.
Yeah, you just we were talking about you earlier that you just always kind of ride around, and then you're there at the end, and here you are, 9 to go, and you're right there in the lead.
Yeah, the strategy seems to play out nicely for me. These guys seem to race really aggressively, and obviously you've seen the amount of wrecks that have even happened on restarts. So at least I've been able to avoid them, and I think I just had the best restart of my career right there on the last one. And got the lead, luckily. And here we are.
Well, man, I'm going to let you focus. It's been fun watching you. Go out there and get you a win.
I'm going to try. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, so we will let Mike Tellier get back to action here as he is your race leader here. 8 laps to go at the iRacing Superspeedway. About 24 miles from right now, barring any late race antics, and possibly one of those last calls brought to you by Beer Street Journal. Hopefully we don't have a last call from Beer Street Journal. That is, of course, the overtime here in the National Sim Racing Association, but you never know. We could very much get one of those last calls. We have seen him here on the Super Speedway tracks as Mike Tellier continuing to pace the way around as the race leader right in front of Andrew Himmelman, who picked up the Bam Auto Pole Award at the top of the show. William Kirwan's up there, and of course William is, like you mentioned, Ben, the sponsor of the Kirwan Racing Race Winner Award. Race winner of this race picks up 5 iRacing credits with the Kirwan Racing team sponsoring that. A big shout out to them for doing so, and everyone wants a little bit extra.
If he wins the race, I'm going to make sure that Tana in chat gives him $5 out of her personal PayPal so that he has $5 for the Kirwan Racing Award. You heard it here first.
All right, so a little bit of the Ben Adams, Tana Himmelman fund possibly pitching in for William Kirwan if he ends up going to victory lane. But
yep, she's already responded in chat. She's there.
All right, good deal. He's saying.
And I solved the mystery. Stephen Doziak said that James Zorello had run out of gas before, so that solves why he got a lap down at that point in the race.
That definitely does. No wonder he was slow onto pit road. Green flag back in the air. The 97 of Tellier leads us to the green flag. Look at the number 11. Chris Darling slicing his way down to the bottom side of the racetrack up into third. William Kirwan going to slot down in behind the number 11 machine. And James Zorello in the number 9 is working his way back up through the field. He's up to the 7th position here. He was a lap down a little while ago in the Stay Tuned Sports Chevy Silverado here with an outside shot at walking away with the checkered flag. Mike Floppy Tellier, your race leader. Here comes Andrew Himmelman trying to take the race lead back in the number 8 machine halfway down the back stretch. He's going to look to the high side. Here comes the number 42 of Evan Burke to his back bumper as we race our way through turn number 3 and 4. But I'll tell you what, Ben, it's about time that we do the JKR Motorsports Crank It Up here on 3-Wide TV as we just have 6 laps to go, folks. turn it up here as we continue to race. All right, folks. The number 97 machine, Mike Floppy Tellier, is your race leader. 3 laps to go. JKR Motorsports sponsoring the Crank It Up here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series. The GoDadRacer 170. Will it be the Canadian? The 97 going to victory lane. Will Chris Darling be able to pip him to victory lane? And William Kirwan continuing his fantastic start to the season. We hear that there's a little bit of money on the line even for him because, of course, he does sponsor the Kirwan Racing Race Winner Award. But maybe Ben Adams will be coughing up some $5 here in 2 laps from now. Tellier, Darling, Kirwan, Lorello, and JT Poole, your top 5, Ben.
No, it's not me. It's Tana. She'll be the one putting the money out there.
Well, she's probably shaking in her boots there in the chat. Just waiting to see how this all plays out. But 1.5 laps to go. The field there working by a number 18 truck of Kyle Lewis. It just had a rough race here tonight. Props for him for sticking it out. But Chris Darling, what is he going to do here? Ben, we've seen Darling make some late race moves. He's all over the back of the Canadian driver. Andrew Himmelman there on the top side, a little bit further back, not getting any help because look at the threat level midnight machines, and we're 4 wide as the 3 threat level midnight trucks trying to line up together, and JT Poole there in the middle, there's contact.
Yeah, they saved it, or he's in the wall, so no huge damage. I don't think a caution's going to come out. You're going to have to stay together here, no question, coming to the line.
We stay green flag. That was Shane Ledoux that ended up in the outside wall as the threat level Midnight's trucks just broke up. But we're into turn number 3 on the final lap. Jason Freeman there almost making contact with the back of James Zarello. But Chris Darling trying to do all he can to get around Mike Floppy Tellier. Tellier with a big block coming to the stripe. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Tellier. Oh! Big wreck out behind him, and Lorello's gone into space.
Lorello is history. He's on pit road. He's in the infield.
Somehow there's no fans down there, but James Lorello just got absolutely launched into the stratosphere. Holy cow.
You wanted a good finish. You got it.
Folks, we're going to have to slow this one down and figure out what the heck happened. Because here comes Lorello. He gets to the inside of Darling, and Darling comes down, clips Lorello straight down into William Kirwan, and the 11 gets turned into a top as Kirwan gets launched. But let's look at the number 9, who gets absolutely obliterated and goes flying up into the I don't know how much air that number 9 machine got on it, but that is absolutely bonkers. Look at the number 11 of Darling spinning like a top as well.
Chris went down and took out the pace car. Oh, man.
Let's get a look at this one from this angle. This is going to be a good angle to watch this one from. Let's watch Chris Darling. He gets spun like a top and gets clobbered again. And there's Lorello coming back to earth. Meanwhile, we got other cars turning into absolute Beyblades on the front stretch. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here to Andrew. Let's watch Andrew, because he was kind of at the back of this, and I think he just kind of just piles on in, just rams up underneath the 52. Wow.
Golly, man. It's going to take a second to sort this out.
That's a lot of junked up trucks, I'll tell you that much. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to William Kirwan there.
Johnny Williams in chat said Chris Darling pulled off a stroker race, and he did. Wow.
Just Kirwan getting thrown up into the air multiple times. And yeah, the number 11 of Darling. My, oh my, he's actually going to come home second. Can you believe that, folks?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the classic Burt Reynolds movie Stroker Ace from the 80s, it's unbelievable. And he pulled it off.
On board here with number 9 of Lorello. And gyro cam.
Whoa.
Gotta love the gyro cam, folks. Just kept going. Just kept going. Just kept going. And this isn't slowed down or anything. And then winds up. It looks like he's on pit road. He's not. He is in the inside of the racetrack, folks. That is one torn up race truck. But Mike Floppy Tellier, the number 97 machine, the Canadian, we talked to him just a little while ago, gets to go to victory lane. And I'll tell you what, his strategy worked out perfectly here tonight, Ben.
It absolutely did. I'm wondering if James Lorello is going to get cleared from the infield care center in time to get to the interview, because he's third, right?
Yeah, James Lorello does finish third here tonight in all that late race madness. Can you believe that? Just unbelievable that he gets launched up into the air and still somehow comes home with a third place finish. Let's see how Mike Floppy Tellier decided to celebrate this race win here tonight, and locks it down here on the front stretch. I'm sure he's going to light it up and celebrate with all the fans here on the front stretch.
There we go.
He knows how to do a good burnout, I'll tell you what. I've been racing with Mike Floppy Tellier for many, many years, and always loves to go to victory lane. He's gone to victory lane a couple times now in the National Sim Racing Association, and definitely one of those drivers who you can never really count out, Ben. When Mike is on his game, he is absolutely on it, and he was on it here tonight. Let's see if we can dial up some of those post-race interviews for you, starting with our third place finisher here tonight. That would be, of course, driver of the number 9 machine of James Lorello, who has made it back to planet Earth. Somehow, some way, he's made it back to planet Earth in that number 9 machine. James Lorello, Peter Short, 3Y TV booth. You got a copy.
Gotcha, man.
Well, we were a little bit concerned about you up here in the booth, whether or not you'd be cleared from the infield care center after you went for one whale of a ride there coming to the start-finish line. Haven't really seen a truck go that high in quite some time. But nonetheless, kind of a wild race for you here tonight. You ran out of fuel, ended up going a lap down for a little bit, made it back on the lead lap, and then here you are finishing on the podium. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, it's just a fun, wild racetrack. The huge runs you get, it's a blast running it. And I was just trying to hold on to the end there, and I was keep that bottom. I figured I was in a pretty good position to get a run. Just couldn't get by Darling there. But great win for Mike. Awesome that he got one. I know it's been a little while, so that's great. And it was great to come back from a lap down and do all that. So fun, but I am definitely, I'm in VR, and I think I got to go get a bucket quick.
Yeah, getting tossed around like that, like a top there at the end of the race. I know people in the chat saying that you got absolutely mauled there at the end of the race, and you definitely did. But hey, fun night here at iRacing Superspeedway. A lot of fun for all the drivers to just come out here and you know, have some fun. But tomorrow night, of course, the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series goes to Dover. Will we see you at Dover, and are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm out the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be at the truck race at Charlotte with my daughter tomorrow night, unless it rains. So that will be the only reason I make it if it rains and the race is canceled. And then I'm on vacation the following week, so I'll be out the next 2 weeks. But I'm sad to miss Dover because it's one of my favorite tracks. So hopefully, I don't know what track it'll be that I'll be back at, but got to get back to it on Fridays.
Well, hopefully, James, hopefully it doesn't rain out and you can have a great time with your daughter here tomorrow night at Charlotte Motor Speedway for that truck race. But I'll tell you what, have a lot of fun, and it's always great having you here on 3 Wide TV. Before we let you go, any shout-outs?
Yeah, thanks to all the sponsors in the league and putting together this. The Super Speedway League is awesome. Glad that it was get broadcast by you guys. Thanks for doing that. And to Chris and Ben and Andrew for putting it all together. So it's fun. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, well, folks, that is tonight's third place finisher, James Zarello. Best of luck next time we see you out there on the racetrack, and enjoy your vacation and your time with your daughter.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, that's going to do it for James Zarello. I believe Ben Adams is caught up with tonight's runner-up, the Stroker race. Chris Darling there, Ben.
Chris, this is Ben up here. What an eventful race you had, buddy. Go ahead and run us through like what you were thinking when all those wrecks happened in front of you.
Well, first off, I'm dead. James Zarello is dead. And Kirwan is definitely dead. No, man, that was crazy. I thought for sure I was going to get caught up in one of those. I mean, I think I had 3 of them just happen right out my windshield. I don't know how I escaped those. So, I mean, after escaping those, I figured I would at least get a win or something. But I don't know, man. It was a kind of a grueling race in a way. I kind of hate this track, but I keep finishing second. So, I don't know. It's love-hate.
Yeah, man. I thought honestly, it came to my mind you were destined to win. I mean, I was talking about your patience, like how you avoided them. So it was incredible, man. Like just great driving, and you have a new nickname, Stroker's Ace. So if you've seen the '80s movie with Burt Reynolds,
I have.
You pulled Stroker's Ace.
I'm not wearing a chicken suit though.
No, you're clear on the chicken suit, but we do need your name changed in Discord immediately.
All right.
But no, man, just a great run. Kind of talk us through your strategy and what you were thinking there.
Honestly, I led a lot of laps, and I mean, from past experience, I knew they were gonna get a huge run at the end of the race. I think like halfway through when I was leading, I was kind of messing with the runs and seeing if I could kind of stop their runs off turn 4 at all, or even off turn 2. I was trying it too, and nothing was really working. So at that point, I figured I needed to be second or third to end up winning this race somehow. And I don't know. Then I put myself into second place at the end, and I was pretty committed to pushing Mike until off turn 4, and he pulled a huge IQ move on me coming into turn 3. And I don't know if he dragged the brakes or let off a little because he saw me backing up, and it completely just stopped my run. So I had absolutely nothing coming off turn 4. So at that point, it was his to lose at that point.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he threw a block or what happened. I just knew you didn't get the typical run. So that makes the win even better for him, man, because if he did drag the brakes and kill your momentum, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he definitely dragged the brakes or let off, and I don't know, I was pretty surprised by that. So just for that move alone, he probably deserves the win. That was a huge IQ move on his part.
Well, man, it was a good points night. I imagine you're pretty happy. Is there anybody you would like to thank before we let you go?
I just want to thank all the sponsors of the league, GTR Simulators especially. I know they put in a lot to keep this thing going. I want to thank all the drivers. This thing started out as just 10 or 11 of us having fun on Thursday nights, and we've got 25 plus guys out here weekly. So it's a pretty good time for pretty much everybody involved. So just want to thank all those guys, and I want to give a shout out to my teammates. They did a good job helping all race long. So hopefully we can take that into next week and have a better finish.
All right, Chris, we'll appreciate you. We're going to throw it back up to Peter in the booth, where I believe he's got your race winner, Mike Floppy Tellier.
Yeah, I'm just now trying to run over to pick up the Canadian, Mr. Mike Floppy Tellier. Mike, this is Peter Short in 3Y TV booth. Got a copy?
Yes.
Well, your strategy played out perfectly here tonight, and we heard from Chris Darling that you caught him off guard there coming to the checkered flag. He said maybe you dragged the brake, maybe you got off the throttle there down the backstretch to thwart his run. You don't have to tell us our secret, but it definitely worked out for you getting the job done here tonight. Really awesome to get the win here tonight. Congratulations. Tell us about it.
Yes.
There you go. That's about it. That's about all the Canadian has in store for us here tonight. But Mike, you got more than that. I know you do.
No.
Making our job difficult up here, Mike. You're not cutting me any. Yeah, I know. He's not cutting me any slack. Come on, buddy.
No. No, okay, seriously.
Come on.
Okay, so yeah, I saw Chris dropping back coming into turn 3, and I don't know if it was just NASCAR intuition, but I tapped the brakes, and I was like, he is not getting this run on me, and I'm not losing this race. So yes, I tapped the brakes, and it was probably what saved me this win. Not going to lie. It was awesome.
Well, it was definitely quite the run to the checkered flag with everyone going flipping and flying back behind you, but you definitely pulled off some pretty big blocks there coming out of turn number 4 back into that number 97 was a wiggling, and what was going through your mind at that point?
Honestly, I was holding the front wheels or the wheels as straight as I could. I think the track just kind of pulled me low in front of Chris coming off of 4, because I was ready to drag race. I'm hoping someone would go high, but all of a sudden, like I said, it looked like a block, but the wheel was pointed straight. I was just going, and the banking of the track pulled me in front of him. Like, it wasn't an intentional block. It works out. I'm here in victory lane. He's runner up, unfortunately, but I need to actually thank him a whole bunch for pushing me those last 5, 6, 7 laps, whatever it was. He won this race. I didn't. Without him, I wouldn't be here.
Well, unfortunately for him, you get the spoils here tonight. The big points payout in the number 97 truck, and of course, the win here at iRacing Superspeedway. But I'll tell you what, we have some really cool races coming up this season. Of course, the next one, we go to Legacy Daytona for the SimShots Racing 150 before going to Autodromo Nazionale Monza for the GoDadRacer 130. Of course, that'll be the left turning oval. We'll go to the right turning oval later in the season. But what are your thoughts about Daytona and Monza over the next couple of weeks?
I'm excited about Daytona. The Legacy track is definitely bumpy on the bottom, so it's going to be basically the second and third lanes are going to be the dominant lanes, I think. I've never ran Monza. I don't even think I have that track on this service, so I'll have to pick that up.
Yeah, definitely. If you like the bumps of Daytona, just wait till you get to Monza. The bumps are probably twice as bad there. So definitely going to be a fun one. Looking forward to that one here in 2 weeks' time. Of course, Daytona next week, same time, same place, 8:30 Eastern, right here on 3Y TV. Mike, before we let you go, any shout-outs?
Yeah, the TNR guys, we had a great strategy. It worked out for a couple of us. I think Doziak got wrecked, unfortunately. Chris Darling for the push. You guys for the broadcast. NSRA for letting me race with them. You know, the usuals. My kids who were in bed, unfortunately, couldn't see me win.
Well, you just have to bring up the broadcast tomorrow on YouTube and show them. Isn't that right? But
interrupt their Fortnite gaming. Here, guys, watch me win a race.
That's right. That's right. Look at Dad. Look what Dad does. And then say, all right, well, I want a race, and I'll go get a victory royale or something. Anyway, Mike, thanks for joining us up here in the 3Y TV booth. One of the only drivers to not have to take some type of trip to the infield care center after the race. But been a great race. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for our post-race interviews right here on 3 Wide TV with Mike Floppy Tellier taking home the win. First off, before we go anywhere, we're also going to say Mike Floppy Tellier. He's going to pick up our MaxGrafix.co Hard Charger of the Race Award as well. Picked up 19 positions on his way to victory lane here tonight. So congratulations, Mike, on not only winning the race, but also picking up the Hard Charger of the Race Award brought to you by MaxGrafix.co. Very cool to see that. You often see that, actually, Ben, where the driver who picks up the most spots is the one that ends up going to victory lane. So pretty cool to see that here tonight. Let's see if we can bring up those final race results for you here on 3 Wide TV. They'll be pulling up right there. They are. Mike Floppy Tellier, Christopher Darling, 1-2. James Morello coming home in 3rd. William Kirwan continues his strong start to the season in 4th spot. Jason Freeman in 5th. Jason Gracias, 6th. Garrett Gleason, Stephen Ford, 7th and 8th. Jeffrey Vickery in 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Andrew Himmelman there, Ben.
In 11th is Chip Hansen. 12th, JT Poole. 13th, Evan Burke. And Shane Ledoux in 14th. Jeff Wyatt had a tough night. Rebounded, got him 15th. John Doble, I believe he sponsored the race. He was in 16th. Evan Gilbert in 17th. And Jason Shue in 18th. 19th was Kyle Lewis, and 10th we saw from the gyro cam, Stephen Doziak Jr. manages to pull out the 20th.
Doug Neal, the number 78 Simbox Motorsports machine, also finishing 15 laps down with Doziak. Colin Ullery in the 62, your reigning series champion, who has not had a great start to the season here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series. He's going to finish all the way down in 22nd. Dalton Hayes in the 47. He had tough luck here, being involved in a couple of early accidents in his 47, finishing 23rd. Ben Mashburn, day was done in the opening 3 laps of tonight's race. Blew through both of his fast repairs, and unfortunately that number 24 truck, just wrong place, wrong time for the number 24, and he was our first somersaulting driver here tonight. We had quite a few of those. We got Doziak, we got Darling, we got the number 9 of Lorella, we got Mashburn. Just some wild accidents here tonight at the iRacing Superspeedway here in the iRacing.com simulator. It doesn't exactly simulate accidents all too well, but definitely a fun one for all of you folks. And of course, need to mention Mike Floppy Tellier is going to be picking up $5 extra from our friends over at Kirwan Racing. Mike Floppy Tellier picking up the Kirwan Racing Winner of the Race Award. Congratulations, Mike. $5 richer here tonight. Also, big shout out to all of our series sponsors, including GTR Simulator, for sponsoring the series. If you're in need of a sim rig, make sure you check them out. And Ben, fantastic quality product. Really cool to have. I know you've had a couple of those GTR simulators in your household. Any quick words you want to mention about them before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, use code GTR Sim to get 10% off. So basically, you can get your tax. They have all kinds of attachments. Very well made. We have 2 of them in our house, and we love both of them. So, kind of a small company. They really put their name out there. So give them some support and pick you up a GTR simulator.
Absolutely great to have them sponsoring here at the National Sim Racing Association Super Speedway Series here on Thursday nights on 3YTV at 8:30 Eastern here on the channel. But for myself, Peter Short, and Ben Adams, we'll see you next week. Daytona Legacy here with these trucks. Going to be a wild one as always. But until then, stay safe, and we shall see ya.